A very warm afternoon to all the participants who have joined us live today. I'm Dr. Arshida from India, and I welcome you all to Homeopathy Musings. Today, for our free Saturday musing session, we have our very own Dr. Ashitank ma'am with us. Ma'am will be dealing with breaking the glass ceilings of homeopathy. So, to talk about Dr. Ashitank, ma'am has been practicing homeopathy for the past 26 years, and she has done her FCAH from the Other Song Academy. Ma'am is known for her rapid prescription on mind rubrics, on which she has also authored a book through the mind maze. Ma'am brings a freshness to homeopathy by integrating the lifestyle corrections, counseling, and curated wellness programs as well. Ma'am can also be called as a homeopathic veterinarian since she treats animal too. We welcome you to Homeopathy Musings, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Arshita, and lovely meeting you. And this session is going to be not a regular, one-way talking or a preaching kind of a stuff. This is more of a classical Saturday afternoon musings where I'm just going to simply share my journey from where I started, as a young homeopath, starting out of college to reach where I am, from a place where it started with a lot of doubt, lot of confusion, and a lot of not believing in self, getting confused with the noise around, and so many other insecurities, and to a place now where I truly feel fulfilled. I feel growing every single day. I'm absolutely at ease and in harmony with my practice, which is what we all want, and at the end of the day we desire as homeopaths. And a good successful practice, not only which provides relief to the patients, but also brings me a lot of fulfillment. So I'm here to share a few nuggets of what I did. It was just didn't happen on its own. There was some effort involved where I tried to make certain changes within myself and as well as in the external environment to get myself to this position of ease and comfort and joy right now, which I am. So I'm just here to share my journey. And if you are able to take only a few nuggets from this, a few tips, that will be well worth it, if it adds joy to your practice. So the whole session will be worth it. So hence, so let's, and here today we are going to talk about things that are do not make us happy. Like, it is not about a typical rubric remedy, studying all of that. It's going to be slightly different, where we bring out things, lay it out on the table, things that are, we feel every single day: the disappointments, the hurt, the frustration, and everything that comes with a homeopathic practice. Because when we lay it out, that is when we can address it and resolve the issues. So feel free to open, share your experiences, because these experiences are not your own, because these experiences are every homeopath's, and all of us can resonate with what you feel. So share openly. That is how we will learn. All right, let it be a little interactive. Let's have some fun. Okay, so one of your friend's daughter, for example, wants to take up homeopathic practice. She wants to become a homeopath, and she's heard all beautiful things about homeopathy, how fulfilling, how great the practice is, and the miracles of homeopathy. She's heard all amazing things, but she has come to you for advice, that should I or should I not, or what are the struggles to. And today you are here not to say any good things. You are here to tell her what are the struggles, what are the difficulties that she should brace herself before taking up homeopathic studies. What would that be? What would your advice to her or words of caution to her be? So you could unmute yourself, share what you would tell her. Anyone? I'm repeating the question. You have to give her advice on what is not quite right. What are the struggles in homeopathy she should brace herself for? Yes, client must be a part of the process. Yes, they should understand basically what homeopathy is. That gets a little tricky when people are not aware of what you do. Anything else? Okay, you have to be consistent. Yes, it is a long and difficult journey. So you will have to be consistent and keep up with it. It is not an easy one. Trust your gut. Yes, I'm talking about the challenges, the difficulties that she can encounter. Not the advice, what you ought to give out to her, but what are the difficulties that can happen? Yes, the limitations. The homeopathic, okay, let us all, I'm putting it together for you. So, we know homeopathic journey, if you become a homeopath, it is not easy. When we set out for practice, there are so many, when we just out of college, there are so many different schools of thoughts. Schools of, one is practicing on the mind method, then there's a sensational method. There are so many pathology, there are so many different methods out here. There are so many abundance of teachers out there teaching all different methods. So one tends to get confused, what is my path? What am I supposed to follow, right? Then is a long drawn struggle to set up your clinic is another task. To help to be the to encourage the patients to stick with your treatment is a challenge in itself. To set up a practice, there are a lot of disappointments initially. It's an uphill task, a struggle every day. So one will have to be ready to keep up with it. Not to mention the competition. There are so many homeopaths all around you by the dozens. So what do you do, right? Because there's a lot of competition also these days. Also, the challenges are that homeopathy is a very broad field. We know that there's a lot of information out there. So sometimes we tend to feel that we are not enough. Am I studying enough? Do I know enough? That the confidence gets shaken. And if there are disappointments, if the remedies don't act, if the patients don't come back, which is, remember, going back to the initial years of practice, the patients quit, the remedies do not work, your best selected medicines are not working. So all these are cause for disappointments, we kind of, which put us down, isn't it? So one needs to have a lot of mental strength to go through this and counter the challenges and the confusion. All right, so we know, understood, homeopathy is challenging. Okay, let's put that aside now. So, we all have attended homeopathic seminars in the past, isn't it? We all love to attend the homeopathic seminars because why? Because they are edutainment in the highest degree. Edutainment meaning, yes, they educate you, but it is also very entertaining, isn't it? What happens in a homeopathic seminar? There is this speaker, there will be an acclaimed speaker, a well known teacher who will show you a case. And typically, it is a video case. And in the video case, what is shown is the patient is in a lot of distress. There will be a lot of skin eruptions, or a lot of pathology, a lot of difficulties, and his life will be a mess, and his attitude, everything is completely haywire. His relationships are not good. His so many things, pent up anger, so many things in he will narrate his life story, which is full of difficulties. All right, now then the speaker will show you the analysis, how he has perceived the case, what he has picked up, and stuff like that, and he will come to the remedy. And this is the remedy, this is the medicine which I gave. And then what happens is a wonderful follow up, isn't it? Wonderful follow up means where the patient, all the eruptions have disappeared. He is absolutely fine. His mental state is so much better. His relations with his spouse, with his people, oh, these things don't matter anymore. My relations have improved. And, this is this happily ever after story. What happens here is this journey, and then the journey of the medicine is explained. For example, if it is a natромure or a ignatia is a remedy which has this whatever, there's a whole personality of the remedy which is laid out to us, isn't it? So all of this drama that is happening around us tugs at our emotional chords. We are very emotionally attuned to this, and we are impressionable people, homeopaths, sensitive people, and then we are suckers for a good story and the whole drama in front of us, and we get mighty impressed. And then, wow, this speaker is amazing, oh, he's wonderful, and we are all enamored, right, smitten. Then, but have you ever noticed this speaker who's shown this marvelous results? Has anybody questioned how many cases, unsolved cases, cases that have not been working well, is are lying in his cupboard or in his closet, so as to say? There may be one or two behind every success. There'll be so many which are failure cases. I have, and also what happens is when we get so smitten by this teacher or whatever, again, when I'm saying all of this, I do not mean any disrespect to any of the teachers out there. They're doing an amazing job. But this is my a perception, this is what I feel about certain things. Then what happens? We take our relatives, our parents. Okay, this teacher is amazing, let me go and seek help for my relatives, my people, my folks. And what happens? Many times we do not, our folks or our relatives or we ourselves do not encounter the same kind of miracles which was shown in the in the seminar, right? We don't experience any of the cures, miraculous cures. And then this is whole song of how wonderful homeopathy is. It sure has miracles, and all of that is is spoken about in the seminars. On the other hand, have you attended an allopathic CME? I must say, extremely boring, extremely dry, where the speaker will come. Nobody is glorifying how wonderful allopathic medicine is, modern medicine is, because it is like a done. It is, it's a given. And then they talk about the medicine and the side effects and this thing and the trials and this thing. It is very scientific, very dry, and matter of factly. There is no drama or, the emotion involved there. So, my question here is, if ours science is so wonderful and so miraculous, then why do we have to keep singing its laurels from the rooftop? And every seminar that we start, why do we have to keep it? Should be a done, it should be a given, right? And the speaker also should have the honesty, I believe, to share that this is just a few of my this thing cases which I'm showing, but yes, I do have a lot of failure cases lurking in my clinic as well. That honesty has to come in. So what I'm trying to say here is, attending these seminars we get enamored, and then what happens is, then this there are some weekly sessions happening, right? So in your vicinity or whatever, there'll be this Thursday meets or Sunday meets where study circles, where there are group of people, homeopaths, who will come together, and they will start discussing. Someone will talk about the remedies and stuff like that. And what happens is, when we go to these weekly sessions, no wrong in attending them, but when we go there, we meet few of our friends. Oh, you also come to the sessions. Oh, wow, it is nice. So we develop a kind of kinship. We like going to to the weekly sessions. It is a good change for us. Again, it's an edutainment. There's a bit of socializing with other homeopaths. We learn a thing or two, and we like going there. And this whole process starts. What happens? Again, we get impressed by the methodology taught, and when we come home to our clinics, we try to replicate it. We want to say the same results that was shown in the seminar or the study circles. We want to replicate them and have them at our own clinics as well, and we try very hard to do that. But the problem here is, in doing this, see, earlier when we had just come out of college, it was still a little better, where we were confused, but our minds were open. We knew about, so many things. I have to do the traditional case taking where I have to look into the physicals, mentals, and all of that. So you're looking, though you're confused, but you're looking everywhere. Your mind is open. Here, when we attend a particular school of thought, gradually our mind starts getting narrow. Our view of things starts becoming narrower. How? I will demonstrate. If you do not agree, I have an example for you. For example, a patient comes to you with lot of skin conditions, lot of skin eruptions, and all of that, and then you ask him a little more, talk a little bit. How did you get this, and whatever you're talking about the problem, and then he says that, see, I'm a worker. He's a poor worker, and he has to go to report for work every single day. So and he has these joint pains which keep nagging him. So every time he's not able to do anything, so he takes a paracetamol or a painkiller, and he goes to work, and he's been taking a lot of paracetamol because of the pains, and gradually now he has come to a place where he has developed this skin condition and things like that he shares with you. So now, if you are tuned to being a mind method prescriber, what will you take? You'll start looking at rubrics. Okay, he has anxiety about his business, right? He's caring about his business, he wants to go to work. Then you will say that delusion injured, yes, because he feels, because the paracetamol that he has taken, he believes that because of the excessive use of paracetamol he has developed these eruptions. So you start thinking on those lines, on the rubrics, and because you're tuned, you're trained that way, right? But on the other hand, if your mind is open and you will see what is right in front of you, the patient is clearly giving you the symptom. All his symptoms, skin conditions, have started because of the excessive use of paracetamol. And in homeopathy, we have a remedy which will antidote the effect of excessive use of paracetamol. Ailments from excessive use of paracetamols, we have a medicine for that. Give the medicine, plain simple. It's a very simple, clear prescription. But because we are having these blinkers, we can take an entirely different tangent. So that is the flip side of following a particular method, right? Now we have also seen, when we encounter, on one side, when we encounter failures, our patients are not getting better. On the other side, we have also seen there are some patients who maybe are not getting better, but still they keep coming to us, they keep visiting us. Why? We don't know. We feel, oh my god, this patient is not getting any better, but still we have all had this experience, isn't it? We know that still patients keep coming to us. We wonder why. All right. Then we have certain patients who tell us, oh, doctor, I was at my down, I was going through a challenging moment in my life. And during that time, when I had visited you, you had told me this, this, this. You had given me this piece of advice, which, I really held on to, and that helped me a lot. We all have this experience when patients tell us stories like this. Then there are patients who tell us, who come to us with their reports that, doctor, please explain. This is the blood work. The allopath had told me this to do this blood work, and now I have this. Please explain what's wrong with me. What is wrong in my blood work? Initially, when the patient would come with this report, I would feel very offended that firstly, I have not ordered these reports, and now this patient is coming to me and asking me to explain this report. You know what? I would feel a little bit demeaned, so as to say. But later I understood it does not come from that position. It comes from position because patients regard you, and they've told me this. They regard you as a family member, as a confidant, or as someone who is willing to, go more, or, know more about what is happening in their lives, address their queries a little more than the very dry allopathic doctor. And hence they feel that comfort or ease in your presence, hence they come to you with these kind of queries. So what it means is they trust us. They come to us, they need more from us. It's They don't come to us only for homeopathic medicine, they come to us for much, many other things, and homeopathy is just a part of it. Then is it not our duty then, as healers, because we are healers first, We are physicians, doctors, healers first, and then our so-called specialty is homeopathy, to give these people some respite, some comfort, something. Even if it is homeopathy is working, yes, that is our primary source. That is perfect if that is happening. But if that is not working, or if that is taking some time, is it not our duty to give them some respite, give them some comfort, or alleviate the sufferings? Because after all, we are healers first, isn't it? How many of you would agree with me with whatever I have said so far? If you could type in the chat box saying yes, so that will help me understand that you're receiving the information, and I can continue. Wonderful, wonderful. So now, how do we go about fixing this? We all understood the problems a little bit. How do we go about correcting this? And it's a beauty that our masters have given us the way how to go about correcting this, how to make ourselves better healer. If we had just listened more to Dr. Hahnemann, which he said, Aude Sapere, we all know this phrase. What does that mean? It means dare to be wise. Dare to be wise. Wisdom is in ascertaining your role and how you can curate it in a way which is patient serving, right? That is our that is the core of what we do. Homeopathy in fact has given us the suggestion already, as master has given us this. And the basis and the other thing which we add to this is the individuality. We operate on the basis of individuality. That is our core thing of homeopathy. We all couldn't agree more, right? The individuality of the patient. So when we are focusing on the individuality of the patient, is it not our duty to just look within? Where is our individuality? What are we bringing to homeopathy? That is also a question which we need to ask. Are we merely emulating, or trying to be one of the so-called mentors which we come to demi worship, so as to say, right? So how can we bring about individuality into our homeopathy? And to give you instances that it is possible, with no disrespect to the master of homeopathy, Dr. Hahnemann, and entirely indebted to him, but if I still sit with chronic diseases, I am not able to finish it. Right. And many of you, would agree with me. It's tough to understand Dr. Hannemann's writings because he has long, winding sentences. Till the time you read the end of the sentence, you don't know where it all started. So we have so many commentaries or simpler parts, simpler versions to make us understand what Dr. Hahnemann is trying to say. And I have referred to it because I can't understand. That is a fact. Okay, look at what Dr. Kent did. He built on what Dr. Hahnemann did. He brought about his mental states. He created a kind of pictures which made the remedies a little easier to understand, isn't it? He brought something to homeopathy which was entirely his own, right? The mental pictures. Oh, Dr. Boning Hussain, he kind of how, he is the leader in how one can extend the scope of homeopathy. Like we are talking about breaking the glass ceiling. He was the one who actually broke the glass ceiling of homeopathy by broadening it. We all know by his generalization, where we know that the bryonia patient, if he is, dry physically, he is dry mentally also, to that level. He has kind of generalized the remedies which make it more adaptable, reaches out to a broader area, becomes easier to use. Dr. Burnett, he's also not following just Hahnemannian homeopathy. He brought his own essence and flavor by working with deep pathology, by getting organ specific remedies which were not very common earlier, right? Organ specific medicines, that is what he brought to the table. So each one of these doctors, so why do we have the need for so many, Farrington, we know all our masters, and we still read all their books. Otherwise there would be one book, Materia Medica Pura, which would be enough, isn't it? All of them are writing the same thing, but they are writing in a different flavor, in adding their own experience, putting themselves out, what they have experienced, that brings it, brings to life the whole book, and it becomes a unique identity of its own, and we still refer to it. We don't have the need for one book. We have so many at our disposal, and so many of the homeopaths have brought something into homeopathy. Even these latest, the latest doctors also, Dr. Shankar and Dr. Gorkar, and all of these people have brought something new, fresh to the table, keeping the principles intact, right? So the question we need to ask is, what is it that I am bringing to homeopathy, right? I have heard enough, I have seen enough, but what is the newness or freshness? How am I creating my brand of homeopathy, which is very unique and very personal to me? Because, and why do we need to do that? Why is it important that we need to do that? It is because when we do that, we create our own brand of homeopathy, so as to say, things start to flow. Because in a place of intuition, in a place of where you are aligned, where you are flowing, right, and where is your skill, and where the place of expertise, in this zone your intuition starts flowing. There is flow, there is joy, there is success, everything we all know starts flowing. Hence it is important for us to create our own brand. Then when we have this, there is no place for confusion, there is no place for trying to emulate somebody. We are very happy in our space. What I'm saying is, going to seminars, learning, or studying or whatever is not a bad thing, but the position or the stance behind it which we take is extremely important. If it comes from a position of, oh, I don't know enough, I know to know more, I'm telling you, the attendance for this talk which we have today would have tripled, would be 3 or 4 times if I would have taken, put out the topic, homeopathic results in neurology, right? A fanciful topic in grave pathological conditions, or something, very fancy. If I have put out that topic, our numbers would have doubled, tripled. Why? There will be so many takers, isn't it? Why? Because it comes, what is the behind thought? What is the thought behind the homeopath attending this talk? Would be, oh, I don't know enough about neurology, right? I need to upgrade my skills, and I need to know, I don't know enough. Hence, I need to attend this talk, isn't it? So, the position which we take, right, is very important. But if it comes from a position of, yes, I know enough, I am good, I have all that it takes, but I'm just here to know a little more, upgrade my skills, grow, that little bit of stance, you're doing exactly the same thing, but that stance makes a hell lot of difference in the way we approach. How many of you agree with me? Again, yes or no. If you have a different this thing also, I'm ready to listen to you. Okay, having said this, let us today create our own unique, different blueprint, which is entirely your own. So I will take you through the steps of what you need to do, and you need these answers for your own self and carve out. It will be a systematic process I'm going to take you through, and through which you will be able to create your own niche, your own specific brand of homeopathy. So, are you excited to learn this? Say yes. Yes. Wonderful. So, let's start rolling, right? So, for this, there are few questions that one needs to ask themselves, right? Because our intent, or the mindset behind what we do has to be very clear and distinct. The first question that we need to ask when we are creating our own brand of homeopathy is, one, what is the freshness I am bringing to the table, right? What is the freshness? Freshness means every day when I'm going to work, am I adding something to my practice? Am I bringing something of value to the clinic every day when I step out? Am I excited to go to work every day? Right? Or it is the same old boring, that you said, get up and you're going to work, and yes, you see some cases and then you come back, report rise, it becomes very routine, very monotonous. So we need to add a little bit of freshness to our practice, right? And then the next question we need to ask ourselves is, am I instrumental in elevating the standard of homeopathy? Right? Because, okay, let us see what is homeopathy. Homeopathy is nothing, if a patient who comes to us, for him homeopathy is going to be the entire experience he has in the whole consultation, right from the time he steps into a clinic. The whole process of meeting the doctor and the consultation and the medicine and whatever happens in the clinic is homeopathy for him. So his idea of what homeopathy is entirely dependent on the experience that we are able to provide to him, right? So homeopathy is not something abstract, it is very solid, and the interaction that he has with us is homeopathy. So our duty or responsibility towards homeopath as homeopaths is also that if we are instrumental in raising the bar or raising the standard of homeopathy, that onus is on us, right? So, am I alleviating the standard of homeopathy? Next question is, am I growing? Because if you are not growing, I mean, you are, you just another, you will get redundant very soon. So, am I growing in terms of what in the modern context? I am abreast with the changes around me, with the AI happening, with the new remedies and new diagnostics. There are so many new things. Am I keeping myself abreast or growing every single day as per the demand of the present time? So, am I growing? Am I adding some freshness? Am I adding value to the patient's life? Because that is the bread and butter, right? So, what value am I doing? Something valuable for the patient? That is the question that we need to ask, right? Am I doing something valuable for him? Am I doing something valuable for myself? Meaning, is my practice giving? Ultimately is about your joy also, right? So is it adding some fulfillment or value to my life also, in terms of my standard of living, the remuneration I ask for, and the value I ask for the treatment that I give out? Am I increasing my value, my self-worth? So these are the questions also that we need to keep in mind before we start embarking on the journey to create your own unique blueprint. And also, am I investing in myself enough? Investing meaning, so this is work, our business, or the source of livelihood. So what, in any kind of business, one needs to invest, put in some money, invest something. So for a homeopath, what is that investment? Investing in our own selves, in terms of our growth, in our study, or how we grow, and also in our clinic, our spaces around. We need to put money or attention into the space which we are working in also, because it is, that is how it is, because obviously, even if today's times, even if you're going to a restaurant, you just don't go to any restaurant, you also look into the ambience, the overall feel of the restaurant or whatever. And it is such, and it is also the same for homeopathic clinics also. You can't be having those regular old style clinics anymore. You have to keep up with the times. So we are going to talk all about that as well. So whatever external changes also need to be done. Okay, so now, when we have identified this is what we need to bring, the first problem when we start doing this that we encounter on the journey is ourselves. Every homeopath, believe me, even if you don't agree, I will demonstrate how it's true. As soon as you come out of practice or you are a homeopath, you are afflicted with a miasm. And what is a miasm? We all know miasm is a taint. It is something which is very hard to get rid of. It is embedded deeply into our psyche and our mind. And that miasm is, I don't know enough, right? We all have this core belief which is deeply rooted into our subconscious that I don't know enough. And let me tell you how it grips us. One, because we know the length and breadth of homeopathy is so vast, so profound, we can never, you will never be able to finish, or, study the whole of it. We just can know only a fraction of it, right? We know that. Second, no matter how much you study, there will always be more seminars, always be more teachers, always be more remedies. At every seminar there will be no newer remedies, tongue twister remedies coming out every other day. So that keeps you in a position, oh my God, now I don't know this, now I don't know this. That thing always keeps lurking. Also, there is this, even if you might be confident, you might not feel the way, you might disagree, say that I don't feel like that. But let me remind you, we are a part of a collective consciousness. So where all the homeopaths, many of the homeopaths around you feel that no, we are not enough, we don't know enough. And also the society, it is the external environment around us. We are always considered second in line, whether you like it or you don't like, second in line with the allopathics is the primary medicine and we are the alternative medicines. And right from the time we are, as soon as we entered college, we were always told, oh, you didn't get admission into allopathic, so hence you have taken homeopathic practice. So with that belief, oh, this is also good, this is also okay. So unconsciously, subconsciously, we are treated as somewhat lesser, so unconsciously we still at some level harbor those kind of beliefs. So that becomes a miasm or a taint which kind of corrupts or has an effect in whatever we do in the prescriptions that we bring out, right? Now, the other thing is also, we know we are not healed ourselves. We might have our own conditions, in the background. We are not healthy ourselves. We might have issues. We might have a thyroid problem. We might be suffering from PCOD. We might have our own health concerns or our own states. For example, if a Baraita carb is a homeopath, is a Baraita carb, the poor thing, even if he's studying every day the remedies or whatever, so next day he's forgetting them. So he's not being able to be effective. Or a pulsatilla prescriber, she'll be changing remedies every often. Oh, not better, all right, like this. Or we are a phosphorus personality, we are very impressionable. So whatever new remedy we want to, oh, this patient is this. So we get influenced by the inherent traits, our own mental states are there with us. Not to mention the other things that surround us, the external influences where we are carrying baggages from our relationship issues, our own concerns. I have to pay the clinic rent, all of, the life concerns that catch on to us. So all these concerns are happening around us. And believe it or not, we also know for a fact that yes, we actually do not know enough. For example, if a patient with a liver disease comes to us, let us face it, we are not equipped to handle him all by ourselves. There are so many syndromes, so many things we are not even aware of. We have to refer the patient outside, right? So we do not know, even we don't even know what tests that we need to offer for sometimes some simple kind of fevers also we need to refer patients, right? So we actually, not even homeopathy, there is a lot of, the medicine part or the diagnostics or the investigations, that is also a big area which makes us feel that yes, we are not enough. So that gets deeply ingrained into our system, right? So then I had this problem for a long time. So when I passed out of college, initially when I was out of college, I went, and after assisting all the homeopaths and I was starting my practice. So I was there, completely frozen. And then I am not able to, because all these fears or, overwhelm got to me. And then I went to my mentor, Dr. Jayesh Shah. You must have heard of his name. So I went to him and I told him, sir, I am not able to practice. I'm quitting because when I'm sitting on the chair, I will always feel that I am not doing a good job. There is so much that I need to know and I don't know, and I'm not doing justice to my patients. So I'm not ready to start practice ever. So, and And the piece of advice which Dr. Shah gave me was absolutely invaluable. And this is what he told me. He said, you must have noticed there are few doctors, few doctors who, for example, if you are practicing a mind method, you will have your list of remedies, the few medicines that are your go to. You normally give out those remedies more often. There are so many others you might not even know about it. Then there's, you must have heard Dr. Divya Chabra. She has a very different style of practice, and her, so many remedies or medicines that we use, there are such tongue twisters. We have not even heard the names of these medicines. She uses them very easily. It comes. And also you have noticed, her cases, if she will show her cases, the patients will speak exactly the same language in which she takes the case taking. If a mind method patient person is so showing his cases, the patient will be speaking similar language with what he is used to. So you see a certain degree of fit with the patients and the method they follow, and they need the same kind of medicines. And Dr. Jay Shah beautifully explained how this works is because now we are all into energy. We understand what energy is all about. So if I know, I have the wisdom, I have complete knowledge of 100 medicines, for example, I don't know more than that. In my consciousness, I am vibrating with the frequency of 100 remedies, right? So automatically my patients, the ones who would need this remedies, will be automatically attracted to me. So that I'm talking about your 80% of practice. There will be few who will be challenging. There will be few for which you will have to get out of your comfort zone, look for other ways and means. But 80% or more than that kind of a practice will be exactly what you know, which only means that you will get the question paper from your syllabus, meaning whatever you know, you are going to get those patients only. So that was such a big relief for me. And also, he said that you don't ever need to find a simillimum for a patient. Just need to identify the state he is and just simply give the medicine. If you're not able to do any of that, a simple bryonia for the joint pains, if you have difficulty in moving and all, if you just give bryonia 30, a lower potency, or something which is this thing, the patients will get better and your practices will grow. So, firstly, you need to get rid of this fear psychosis that grips all of us, that I don't know enough, or how, or whatever, the tension or that grips us so strongly. You can be eased of that grip also. And all this was very easy to do. It was easy then, but I, again, once you hear it, yes, you get it intellectually, but it somehow doesn't sink into you, right? So for that, to, because this is a miasm, it will keep lurking, it will keep coming back again. Few disappointments, few patients not getting better, this is going to hit you hard. Yes, I don't know enough or whatever, all this drama is going to restart. So I had to figure out a way to address this, because this was the most important, most distressing part internally, which needed to be fixed. So how do you get about correcting it? Firstly, make use good. I made good use of my subconscious mind, that we all know, right? The power of affirmations. And we all know the subconscious mind is very active, very powerful, and at its best, the night before you go to bed, and the first thing in the morning, your subconscious mind is very fertile. And also we know about the power of repetitions. So what I simply did was, I recorded an affirmation for myself in my own voice, which made complete sense to me, right? Because, and what is it I actually wanted in my practice. So I listened to this affirmation uh, in the night, in the morning, and whenever, maybe in the day when I'm resting, I would just constantly keep listening to it, listening to it, listening to it, and made it into a kind of a prayer. So when I'm going to the clinic, in my mind, I'm rehearsing, I'm talking, about the same thing. So what is happening here internally? I am moving or reverberating. My cells, my psyche, my being is being flooded, immersed in that kind of vibration that I'm ready, I am good, I know adequate. The patients will reveal the remedy to me. They will, I will know what needs to be treated in the patient, and it will be extremely easy for me. Something of the sort, I am reverberating with that vibration. And obviously, when I enter my clinic, this will start showing and manifesting in this exact same way, right? So I have my go-to meditation ready with me. How many of you are willing to do that right now with me over here? So would you like to do that? Right. Wonderful. So we will do a short meditation. So it will be a little kind of break also for us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then we will start this meditation. And so here we are. So you can close your eyes. Make sure your feet are touching the ground. Take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale through your mouth. Another deep breath in, long inhale, and a long exhale. I am blessed to be in the wonderful profession of healing. I am so proud to be a homeopathic doctor. I love my work and my clinic. My clinic is my temple. Whoever steps into my clinic is healed. I am enough. I know enough. I have the blessings of my masters, my gurus, my teachers, and the grace of Dr. Hanuman. Their blessings lead me to the perfect remedy needed for every suffering being, easily and smoothly. I know all that is required to heal my patients. I am an instrument of cure. I have what it takes to bring relief to humanity. My practice is getting stronger every passing day. I am growing. I am able to cure lots of patients, even with deep pathological conditions. And it is so satisfying to see them get better. I always get wonderful follow ups of patients which I treat. It is so fulfilling and very rewarding. Lots of patients queue up every day to visit me. My calendar is always full of appointments. I am able to manage my practice very smoothly and efficiently. I have adequate help, good staff, which help me in my practice. I uphold the dignity of my masters, my science, my homeopathy. I am blessed to be a homeopathic doctor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can now gently open your eyes, and if few of you could share your experience or any thoughts on what we have spoken so far, it'll be very valuable.
Hello, Dr. Arshi. I'm Dr. Padmaja from Hyderabad.
Yes.
So far, I'm listening to you so keenly, and each word you have spoken is completely true as far as me and us, as far as all others. So, I'm practicing since 30 years, and I practice in all methods which are available now in homeopathy. So, I have finished FCH, FHPC, and everything like that. So, I'll be seeing in which method this patient can be treated like that. But as far as you said, first we need to be open in our minds, and the process, the meditation process is very good, very good. And so far, I'm waiting what next will be there in your
Ah,
session
yes.
now.
Yes,
Thank
a
you.
lot of wonderful
Hmm.
things. We just gotten started. Yes, because this was just
Thank
the
you.
built up of the challenges that we do, and it makes sense to make your own personal meditation, right? Because you have this music available on YouTube, which is 432 hertz, right? Just write 432 hertz music, and then you can just switch that on, and in your own words, write a meditation which works for you, because what you want out of your practice will be very different for what I want in my practice. And when you listen to your own voice, it makes a lot of difference, trust me. And this was only for the practice, but I have a list of meditations which I've made for myself as regards my health. You won't believe, as far as my health, my relationships, all other areas. And trust me, and it is so easy when you have it on your phone, your own voice. You can listen to it anytime on the go, and somehow, trust me, it just percolates into your system gradually, even without you realizing. It is so beautiful, and it's really powerful, and another very valuable tool. Now, this is a big secret I'm going to share with you today that helped me immensely in practice to get rid of this miasm of not knowing enough. I came from a very say unconfident position. I am always unconfident. I'm not confident enough ever. So but now is not the case. But how did I, in my practice, how did I get about gaining confidence? Yes, affirmations are also okay, but once in a while you will have failures, you will still encounter failures, still to keep yourselves up also all the time. Another valuable tool I'm going to share with you today, and that is my secret diary. So my secret diary is my, I've labeled it as my successful cases. So what happens typically, now hear me out very carefully. Whenever we come from the clinic, you have this one case which you could not treat, which will always nag you. Oh, this patient, this fever, he went to another doctor, I could not treat, and you feel so awful about it, even if you've had a good day at the clinic, some pathological conditions got cleared, but that stupid nag is going to be there with you, that oh, that fever, I lost this patient to an allopath, he's not seeing me. That rude message you get on your phone, that sorry, we were not getting better, so we went to the allopath. We all encounter that, and it puts you, your heart really breaks. So what I did is I made a diary of my successful cases. So every day when I came back from work, I would write down my successes for the day. And trust me, how I started, if I show you the pages, you'll go crazy. It was my first case I'm showing. A patient came to me with running nose, redness on the nose, sneezing and whatever, and he was very restless, very uncomfortable. And I gave him, okay, now you can guess the remedy. What did I give him? Running nose, redness around the nose.
Arsenic. Arsenic.
Exactly, yes. So I gave the patient arsenic, and the patient got so much better. That was my successful entry to the diary. Then what did I write? This patient, he went out in the sun, he got a headache, and he has a dry mouth, and he has this thirst for water and all of that. So today I gave him bryonia, and by evening he was so much better, right? You must feel this is such a crazy way to do things, but trust me, it worked for me beautifully, because every day what I'm doing is Neuroplasticity. We all know of this fascinating word. So I am training, I am rewiring my brain for success. I am telling my brain that yes, you know, you could figure out this remedy, you could figure out this remedy, you know enough. So every day I am working on with my affirmations on my unconscious patterns. I am also working on my neural patterns, which are always telling me that yes, I am doing something valuable every day. My patients are getting better, better, better. That is how I am gradually wiring my system. So these are my two secret takeaways for a very successful practice. Okay. So now coming moving forward to we have stated our clinic is our temple and how do we enter a temple? Okay, it is a place of worship, it is a sacred space, right? Okay, now tell me, when you enter the a temple, what is your state of being? Immediately you start feeling a sense of ease, you feel calm, you feel rested, you feel stress disappear, isn't it? That is a feeling you get when you enter any kind of temple or a space of worship, isn't it? So now when we say our clinic is our temple, the space of our clinic should also resonate, should also feel like a space of healing, isn't it? And how we can create that? Now we want to get our creative juices flowing. So firstly, when you're sitting in your clinic, have a look around. The place should not be cluttered. All your files, your patient records, or whatever, they will be neatly should be tucked in. No clutter. There should be no visual obstructions and all of that. It should be clean, it should be uncluttered. And also I have seen some clinics, and I really would like to tell if it is possible for them. So some clinics, some doctors have this old display of medicines, all the medicines that we use, they are put in shelves which are very visible. So I would like you, I mean, a suggestion, if you can cover these maybe with a curtain or whatever, so the patient does not need to see all your medicines. Okay, now have you entered a five-star restaurant, right? So even if they have the best of ingredients, they have the best of cookware and all of that, that is not out there in in front of you in all display, right? So it there all that work is happening at the back end and in the kitchen. So what you're greeted with is a fantastic ambience, right? So this is what we need to get out of there when the patient enters our clinic. And the trick to do that is sensory. Use all five senses. A person assimilates, any person will assimilate anything with their five senses. Firstly, when anybody enters your clinic, make sure if you can. So these are all suggestions in your space. You could make good use of it wherever you can, whatever you can is in your means. So one is sensory, winning the temperature should be comfortable. So sometimes, because I have experienced, when you enter the clinic, either the fan is too high or too low, you're sweating, it is warm or whatever. Make sure that the temperature is as comfortable as you can manage, right? Pay a little heat to it. Second, sensory, because see, when you enter into, say, Taj or a very, beautiful seven-star restaurant, for example, so there is some or a spa. Okay, when talking of smells, right? So if you enter a spa, what is it that first hits you? There's a particular smell, a particular fragrance. It must be lemongrass or peculiar fragrance of a spa, which puts your mind, aligns your mind. Yes, now I can relax. That I have entered a spa. It is a place of comfort. That is how your mind starts relaxing automatically. If you enter a temple, there is this smell of incense, agarbatti, that is there, right? So you are attuned that you have entered into a sacred space. The smell always puts your, it is an identification, your signature of where you are, where you have come, right? So in your clinic, have some kind of fragrance, maybe some aromatherapy, or some this thing, vaporizer or stuff like that, or you can spray whatever works for you. And the fragrance has to be very classy, not just any fragrance, and don't keep changing the fragrance. It should be the same, your signature, because this is your blueprint, right? So your signature fragrance, that when as soon as someone enters, oh yes, I have entered Dr. So and so's clinic, so this is the fragrance that they can completely identify with. All right, that is one thing which you can do. Second, make water available, right? Remember, when you're entering the temple or the church, you're given something to eat or drink, that thing that you hold in your hand, and have that sacred water or something. Why is that even given? Because, and even, if guests come to our house, what we do is sit down, have water. I mean, they might not be thirsty, because our this is our Indian hospitality, right? We'll offer them water, right? So there should be water available in your clinic, either in a jug. I prefer that, because again, you don't want plastic bottles and stuff like that, but still, in your whatever works for you, some kind of water which is available. And that's a part of normal courtesy. And if you can train your and yes, talking of ambience, the environment around, you could have some pictures or quotes, good quotes put up, good quality books, you can keep out for patients to read, maybe on health or something. You could have some toys stacked in a corner for children to engage with. These are the small things that you can work in your clinic setup. You can train your receptionist. Say, for example, if a guest comes to our house, if he's come to meet my spouse, for example, and if I happen to open the door, I will not just open the door and walk off. What am I going to do? I'm going to receive the patient, the person. Oh, have a seat, or, can I offer, can I get you some water? Please wait, and he will come and attend to you shortly. This is what we normally do as a part of Indian hospitality, or any kind of hospitality for that matter. So why not bring that to our clinic? We can train our receptionist. And yes, I can understand it is not appropriate in a clinic setup that, the receptionist is welcoming the patients and all of that. But by a mere gesture that you're acknowledging that somebody has entered, like just a small smile or something, we can train the receptionist to just acknowledge somebody, make them feel comfortable, maybe check on them. If someone is running a temperature, you could just ask them whether I need to, reduce the fan speed. Are you okay with the AC or stuff like that? Anything that makes them seen, that makes them attended to, makes them a sense of welcome that you have entered this space, right? Even in restaurants, when you go these days, there is a usher who will take you to your seat, make sure you're comfortable. Is it that anything, what kind of water would you like to have? I understand that's a restaurant setup, but something of that sort which enables the patients to have a good experience and they feel welcome in that space, right? In the way which we can easily do, right? So that is are a few things that we can look into. And what else is I'm saying? Fragrance and this thing, and what else I was saying? Huh. And also, what we can train our receptionist is when the patients are waiting, right? Sometimes you're just waiting, doing nothing. So our receptionist, we can give her a, say be a BB blood pressure cuff, a blood pressure monitor. So till the time they're waiting, she can take the blood pressure, or take the height of the children. So check the sugar levels, or these things are some things that don't cost anything, that and take the weight, for example. But what happens is, if you have a, I have noticed, if you have a track of their blood pressure when they are normal, in their resting stage and in a state of ease, or if you have taken the height and weight of the child and you have it in your records, because the receptionist has passed down the record to you, and later on, maybe a couple of months, a year later, when you revisit, the patient comes to you and you make it a point that yes, your height, the child's height has increased, or the weight is increased, or your weight has come down, that also shows a level of the care that you have taken to remember these vital and often ignored parts of your patients, normal stuff, right? And also, from our own experience, sometimes what happens, if you're waiting, we have also encountered this when we go to visit other doctors. It is an in, we don't know how long we are supposed to wait, even if we have taken appointments, and we know our appointments might take a little longer. So sometimes the patients are waiting unnecessarily. So it is not a good idea to waste anybody's time. It just shows that you're not respecting the other person's time. So if you know that you have an appointment, the next person is already waiting for you, and this patient which you have inside of you is going to take some time, please make it a point to tell your receptionist to convey to the patient that this patient might take 10-15 minutes or whatever. Then it is the patient's choice whether to wait for you, or he can come back, schedule an appointment, or come back in the evening or some other time. So this shows that you're conscientious enough not to waste the other patient's time, and you're respecting the other person's time as well. So these are the small gestures that you do in patient care that, that patients come to appreciate highly. So, and this doesn't cost much, and again, this raises your level, or your standard of, the how you function in the clinic. And having said that, the patient is coming to see you ultimately, because, and in this temple, who's the god, so as to say, you are the god, not really god, but an instrument of healing, right? So when you're sitting now with such a, attitude, or, this kind of a position where I'm ready to serve and I know it all, the medicine will reveal to me, trust me, and whatever happens before he has come to see you, whatever happens in the clinic, trust me, it is such a beautiful, the process, the whole process gets very soothing, very comfortable, and very this thing for the patient. And it's really nice if we are able to give that kind of comfort and well-being to our patients. So we could look at how we can do that. Second thing, what we need to do is, now we are talking of working on our own selves. So, also, it is our duty to firstly, today I'm taking this opportunity to drive home the point that please take care of your own health. If you are struggling with any kind of issues, whether it is PCOS, thyroid, or any other issue, health challenge, or obesity for that matter, take charge of your own health. Do whatever needs to be done to put yourself in a state of health. Obviously, because we are the healers, and if we have to give out some advice, it also always makes sense that at least you are healthy. An obese doctor cannot be telling another patient to lose some weight, right? So it doesn't make some sense. So that is, you can take care of your own health. Third thing, what we can do is, when we said that we need to take care of how we are growing, how we are, growing every single day, is chalking out some time to study for self study, maybe an hour. And in the week, one can just divide this time between not only studying homeopathy, but also studying different things, because our mind is, it works in, like, there is a lot of cross pollination happening. Sometimes I have noticed, if I've read a book on literature somehow, or personality, or whatever, and then I'm able to kind of relate, some kind of weird connections happen which help you grow. So you make yourself, read a lot of different things, and learn a lot of different things, whether it is AI, or simply making a Canva post, or upgrading yourself in technology, the skills that are required. So, and there is a whole lot of nutrition, yoga, there are so many other things which one can be, um, learn about, so that you are abreast, and what all is happening in the world. It's not just only homeopathy, and also it becomes a little refreshing. It's not the same old homeopathic remedies we are reading again and again and again. And okay, now with this, I would like to share another secret of how you can study remedies in a way that you will never forget them. Okay, so what happens is that we all know the right way to study a medicine is an integrative approach. We are aware of that, where we study the physical symptoms, the keynote symptoms, the mind symptoms, and all together. And that is how we typically study a remedy. So believe me, I tried doing that, but sometimes you still forget. Now, today, if I ask you, give me symptoms of bryonia, a very common remedy, which is our bread and butter remedy, but we will be able to spell out only 5, 10 symptoms. 10 is also maximum. After that, dry, whatever, few symptoms only we'll be able to spell out. We will not remember in spite of studying it for so many times. So then, what do you do? How do you remember a medicine better? And that is a secret, is rather than study a remedy, befriend a remedy. Befriend a remedy, which means that how I start reading a medicine is, I take, okay, first is, how do you befriend your remedies is spending time with a friend. Now, we all know our medicines are ticking time bombs in the sense of they have a lot of potential of turning a person's life around. In fact, more than the mentors, I believe we all should be lot, we should be have immense gratitude for the remedies or the medicines that we are blessed with in homeopathy, right? They are living entities which are there with us in our clinics all the time, having this magnificent power or this magic to turn people's lives around. Isn't that so powerful and such a wonder, to be in such magnificent company? So, what I typically do is when I enter my clinic, I just say a hi to them. Hello, hi, wherever my medicines are stocked up. Because for me, they are not dry, dead remedies, bottles. No, they are all my friends, all living entities waiting to help me, right? To help me and the patients. And normally, and how you can interact with them much better is, for example, what our normal process in the clinic is every month when my clinic receptionist would take out the medicines and clean them and would take the stock of things. If a medicine is getting over, so we might need to reorder it, taking a stock of things, which is done monthly. So what I do at times is I sit with the medicines, every 15 days or a month later, I will sit, I will take a cloth and I will clean all the bottles of medicines with my own hands, take them out of the drawer, keep them properly, interact with them. That is my way of meditation or spending time with the medicines, my friends, right? And in the process, what happens is, so if I see a medicine bottle which is full, I have not used it. And this was my experience last 15 days ago. I had this bottle of iris vesicolus, and I saw and I have not used it at all. And then suddenly I said, oh, I'm so sorry that you've been lying here at my clinic for so long and I have not used it. I'm so sorry for that. Today I'm going to read, know more about you, and then there will be a time where you will be able to help someone who needs you. I will make sure that this happens, right? So I'm just an instrument facilitating the match and the matchmaker here. And that can happen when I know both sides of the party, my remedies and my patients. So with these remedies, when I sit to study them, first, I give out a small prayer. I speak to the medicine as if they are living entities and I thank them for their presence. Thank you, you are there, Bryonia. I'm so thankful that you're there with me every single day, helping so many patients. Today, I would like to know more about you. Reveal yourself, your essence, and make yourself known to me in a manner that I do not forget you and I'm able to use it well for the well being of those who need you, right? And then you start the study, and trust me, the level of how you study the remedy will completely change. Now, I might not know or memorize all the symptoms of bryonia, but I am so sure that when a patient needs bryonia, it will be revealed to me in whatever way it has to come. It is going to happen. That is a given. That kind of confidence would come when you have that trust and faith in your friends, which are the remedies, and also operate from a place of ease, knowing and an instrument that it is going to happen through me. I'm just an instrument and I'm the matchmaker here, right? I'm going to just bring about this match. Okay. So this is how you can get to study remedies much better. All right. Does this make sense to you? Are you enjoying this process or you are feeling it's all nuts? Lovely. I am glad. I'm glad you're liking it. Also, we have seen in our culture, as we separate, as we celebrate Dasera, what do we do in Dasera? We spend time, we worship our instruments. Instruments are things that help us. We have been taught like that. So why do we have to wait for Dasera to worship our remedies when they are right in front of us? Why not make it a monthly practice? So how many of you today are going to commit to befriending your medicine, spending time with them, getting to know them at least once a month. Say me in the chat box. Lovely. So nice to hear this. Okay. Now, when we know this, we as homeopaths, we also know that we can't be restricted to the remedies or the tools that we have. They are simply not enough for us. So let us make it a point now, gradually. Now we are coming to gradually break the glass ceiling of homeopathy, right? And how are we going to do that? We are expanding it now. We need to expand our tools. We need to increase our armament is the tools that we are using every day. So, and we don't have dearth of it. There are so many that are available. Batch flower remedies, oh my god, they are such a life savior when patients are, they are not getting better. Patients of depression, or patients whose states sometimes we find hard to pin down the remedy. So batch flower remedies are a huge savior. We have these sarcodes, nosodes, that is okay, or part of homeopathic medicine. Then we have bowel nosodes. That is what we have at our disposal when things sometimes don't work. Oh my god, biochemic remedies, the drainage remedies, organ specific remedies, mother tinctures. Oh my god, there is so much here. It's like if you're in Disneyland of medicine, right? There's so much to explore, so many this thing, but it will all happen. We will be able to use all of that when we look at them, approaching them with how you go to a new ride in Disneyland. It's so amazing. Wow, this is going to be so much fun. Let me explore mother tinctures today. Let me befriend them today. Let me understand them today. With that approach, they will reveal themselves to you, and trust me, you will be able to use them like, switch gears, like, how beautifully, where you what you need to use, where it will come to you seamlessly and automatically. It will start flowing. Trust me, if you follow the blueprint and follow the whole process. Okay, now that you have increased your tools, you are all there and you're ready with your practice, your mindset is set. But now the problem, there are no patients, right? The patients won't come. What do you do for that? So uh, so you've done everything that you can, but there are no patients. What do you do, right? So there was a time for me where I did everything very confident, very happy in my space, but there are no patients in the clinic. What am I supposed to do? So that is the time I thought, if patients are not coming to me, let me go to my patients. And then I went out of my clinic and I'm just staring. What do I do? What do I do here? There are no patients coming to the clinic. Then I saw my gardener and he was just talking. I had this aloe vera plant outside of my clinic, and he had, kind of overwatered it. And he said, I will have to just throw away this plant because this is aloe vera, and somehow this has so much water, it's just going to die. Might as well throw it. And this was a day when I had no patience. I was absolutely free. So then what I said, that don't throw away this plant. Let me try something. Then what I did is went to the clinic, got this bottle of Dalkamara 30, and I added to this aloe vera plant. And then I told the gardener, now don't add more water to it and don't throw it away. We will see what happens for 10 days or whatever. We will just let us see what happens here. And trust me, in uh, 10 days time, the it was about to die. It was almost withered. But the aloe vera started growing back again. It started getting healthier. So it is not about patients only. We can extend homeopathy to plants, to animals. So you must have seen so many of my cases are a lot of animal patients, animal cases. So when I have nothing better to do, I am out of my clinic and I'm looking for wherever I can use my homeopathic skills, right? I don't need people also, wherever I can use my skills, right? So what I could typically do is, so if that is, I shared this case on the musings group earlier. So there was this kitten, was just lying outside of my clinic, and it was about to die. I sent a picture of the kitten to the vet. The vet said, don't bother about it too much, you will be too much trouble for you to get it back to health. Forget about it, it's almost on the verge of dying, nothing can be done. So then I thought, what, but you can't just leave some life dying just there, right? So what I did is I took, I always have these spray bottles in my clinic, the bottles, that small spray bottles. So I have the spray bottle in my clinic. So I added a few drops of what was that, alpha 30, and I sprayed it onto the kitten. And I also kept in front of it a bowl of water into which I added alpha 30. That is all I had. So, and you won't believe, after I finished my clinic, I just went to check on the kitten, and the kitten actually got up and started drinking the water. It lapped up all the water as if it was so thirsty. And by evening, in fact, I shared pictures on the group, it was just roaming around, it was climbing on at the gym next door and all of that, it was just up and about. The why I came to alpha is because we all know it is a tonic. It is a simple tonic where, because of nutritional deficiency, they're not able to absorb nutrition, lack of malnutrition, malabsorption, this thing. And so, and hence the kitten, because it was not able to eat and it was so weak and tired from this thing, malnourishment, so it was on the verge of dying. But when you spray alfalfa, what happens, it got back to life and then started getting on its way, right? So I try, and then this water bowl in front of my clinic where all the strays come to drink water. So what I do is I add few drops of sulfur 30 to this water. And what happens is, when the dogs, you must always see, dogs always have this itch on them. They are forever scratching and they have always full of pests. So when you put this drops of sulfur 30 into their water, all the ticks start falling off, their skin starts getting better. And again, sulfur to being the king of antisorics. So why not these animals get the benefit of being treated with the antisoric remedy. So that helps immensely. So nowadays what I do is I carry a bottle of sulfur 30 in my bag. So wherever I see a bowl of water for the strays, I add a few pills of sulfur 30 into that water. So what I'm trying to say is, patients don't come to you, you go out and start treating whatever you get in your hand. That is how you will hone your skills. You can get to a charitable clinic which would give you a lot of experience, a lot of satisfaction also in treating patients. And as you get better in that, obviously patients will also start flowing to your clinic. That is also going to happen. Okay, now having done that, you have getting patients to the clinic, you are all set and all of that. Now, to add that icing or the cherry on this wonderful cake that you have now baked is what? Your own creativity. What is it that defines you? What is it that you stand out? What is it that makes you very different from your counterparts? Another homeopath, if somebody is saying, because we know that there is competition, more than the competition, I believe it is getting your own creativity. So all of us have our own skills which are innate, inherent, or very intrinsic to us. It could be, for some it could be counseling. We are able to counsel them patients very well. That is a skill that you have. Some of us are good in yoga, some of good are us are good in dietetics. We are good in diet and nutrition, some of us are good in lifestyle changes. Or there must be something which you have as an accessory or an additional talent, which is which you have. So why not integrate it? After all, when you're saying that you're a healer, why just stick to homeopathy? Why not add something to it, right? And see what comes out of it. Obviously it will be a good value addition to which you are already doing. For example, for me, what I can share is, see, I have been a straight A student. In all my, even FCH or whatever, I have always got good grades. I couldn't top. I've been a topper all throughout or whatever. I'm good in academics or whatever. That comes naturally to me. That is my skill. In fact, I didn't realize it till my daughter pointed this out to me. Okay, this is something that you need to look into. How is it that every exam that you take, that you kind of ace, you get you are in the first position always, right from kindergarten. How is that even possible? So then i I understood that, I know, even without my knowing, there were certain skills that I was using, as to get, get my grades up, or certain study techniques maybe I was using, which came naturally to me. Then what I did is, as a homeopath, I carved out this program which was called Simplify, in which I would teach or coach students which who are appearing for maybe competitive exams, say the IAS, or even it is 10th, 12th, something which is very competitive. So they are appearing for these exams. So I would coach them one on one. So, how I'm telling you how is, one, when you're taking the case, when you're receiving the case, I understand the remedy of the patient, right? So that is the homeopathic part. So this patient is a silicea or a carcinosin or a califos or a picric acid, or whatever remedies, for these student groups. So I know the remedy of the patient, I will give that homeopathic remedy, right? To assist it, I might even give some biochemic remedies, right? And then I would add my skill of what I know to teach them, coach them how to go about studying, which enables them to perform better, right? So that is the value addition I am adding to the table. Now, with, see, now how this, my working with animals around, right? Because this was a time when I didn't have patience or nothing better to do. So that was when I started treating dogs, or, anyone who came around. But then indirectly that helped me later. Then when, I would get patients, as, a lot of dogs and cats and, their parents would come to me, and then I would treat them, and then starts getting better. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever you are, putting yourself into, one thing also doesn't go to waste. It comes back to you at some opportune time, at some different time, maybe in some different way. So any of your learnings never goes waste, right? So it comes to you. Now I have, because my training with these strays, my, I got good at that. So now patients can trust me with their fur babies. So hence, when I had sent out this brochure on this picture, so I have a picture of me with my pet dog Toffee. So because he also, from the time he is with me, he's always been on homeopathic medicine, and so are all his friends, the fur babies. So hence, I got to get better with dogs and, animals as well, and even plants. So even my garden, if there is something happening, I try a lot of homeopathic medicines on this, right? So that is how, what I'm trying to say is, you can get your creative juices flowing. And this is why, this is the secret sauce of why I am enthused, why I am very happy to go to clinic every single day, because I know it is not going to be just another day. It's going to be very different, something surprising, something new happening all the time. This is what adds joy to my practice, so which I wanted to share with you. And having talked about that, why can we miss packaging, right? So when we have this, everything is so beautiful, so nice, and so all five-star around us. So why do we have to give our, our pills have to be in those dreary bottles? So these, you can also look into packaging. There are beautiful packaging options available these days. So what happens is, the reason why it is important is, if you package your bottles well, it is sent out well, again, that helps elevate your standard of homeopathy, and obviously you can charge better too, right? So this is what I had to share. And if you have some thoughts, something that you need to share, or your takeaways, I'll be very open to receiving that. And after that, if you are open, I would like to share a few cases from, diverse ways of how I got to a remedy, a few instances of how I play my way around by not sticking to a particular way of thinking. So few instances I could share with you, but I would like to hear from you first. Come on, come on.
Yes, Dr. Arshi. So I'm Padmaja again. So
Yes.
I'm really excited. One new point for me today is the 432 hertz. I have written that also, and I'll try that now with my own voice. Huh?
Hmm.
So. I've been trying some ragas from Dr. Shankaran sir and other doctors for myself. And this is something new thing for me. I'll try that today. Thank
Wonderful,
you.
wonderful. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, and we are interested to listen to your cases, what
Yes,
you told,
yes,
na? Just,
yes.
I mean, we are, I'm enjoying
Yeah,
whatever you told, Dr. Arshi.
yeah. Good, good, good to hear. Because this being an online session, sometimes it gets tough to figure out that, if I'm making sense or if it's just a boring prattle. Okay. So, one of my neighbors, she's a dentist, and she just came to me just generally. She didn't come for medicine as such, but then she just mentioned that, she had a lot of acne, and from the time no, it was just generally chatting up. She says, I have to, I just happen to notice a lot of eruptions. And I said, why don't you take medicine for this? She says, I'm already taking medicines. I'm on birth control pills. I said, why do you need to take that? She said, because my acne will only from the time I've hit puberty. So I have this problem of acne, and till only when I continue to take these, birth control pills, which the doctor has advised me, only then my acne will, kind of be in check. Otherwise they just flare up. Nothing else seems to work. And there's nothing. And again, her mental state and everything, if you take her history, there's nothing there. What would you give her? That's all. It's just an informal chat. There's nothing more to it. So that's all she has to share with you. What would you give her? Any ideas?
Maybe overinum because of high estrogenic level and the birth control pills only keep it under control. So some kind of sarcode or some kind of,
Yes, some
uh,
kind of no
huh.
so. But we have, if you just read up, so this medorinum is something you have it in the repertory that you have acne, birth control pills ameliorate. So there's a direct rubric that we have in Medorinum where birth control pills ameliorate. So I told her to stop her birth control, the pills which she had been having, and just gave her a dose of Medorinum. And trust me, and after that, she's become a big homeopathic convert because her acne absolutely disappeared and she had no need for any kind of support whatsoever. So that is a nosodes and sarcodes are capable of bringing about this transition, very quickly, rapidly. Okay. So one, a baby came to me, a small child baby, and she had rashes, all over her body, and red, rash. And she was quite, when the parent brought her, the mother brought her, she was very, like normal. She's not itching. She's absolutely okay. And, there's nothing. So in her mother's history, child's history, the mother says she's absolutely okay. There's nothing, she's smiling, eating, whatever. She's not itching. She's absolutely a breeze to manage. She doesn't even cry. If she wants milk, she hardly cries. Maybe a little bit of whimper. She's not demanding. She doesn't even, like sometimes we have to see that if she, really wants. So sometimes, for one instance, I thought if she has some kind of a neurological disorder where she's not even crying for milk. All children would cry for milk, right? They would create a tantrum if they're hungry, but she's like a little bit of whimper. And even if you don't give her, it's okay. If you feed her later, that's also fine. So that was there to the case. Nothing more I could figure. What would you give her? So these cases I'm sharing, which are very like just there, you don't know what you can do. Otherwise there will be a lot of cases, bird cases, animal cases. I have a ton of them, which maybe I can take another session to share those. But then this is just this, that's it. Okay, I gave her opium for painlessness. Painlessness meaning she's content, she's not even crying for milk, there is lack of reaction, and just nothing, and no pain, nothing, everything is okay, content, all those symptoms. Where sometimes there are no symptoms, you need to check out whether it would fit an opium state. So I just gave her a couple of doses of opium, and magically, and in a week's time, the rashes all disappeared. And it's okay. There was no need for an elaborate history, also, which I did take just to rule out, but then it was not even needed, right? Okay, let's go to another case. Now, this is something of a particular say of a patient. Say, if the patient comes to you saying, Doctor, I have been having this headache, and just this, I have had this migraine, and uh, that's all. Otherwise, if you ask anything is wrong, any stress or anything, that is bothering you, you want to know more and all of that. So the patient tells you, so no, this is the only thing that is a problem. Otherwise, my life is all well. I am doing well in my work. There is no stress, and he talks all the good things. Good things meaning life is okay. My relationships are good. Everything is in fact excellent. It is. I have a lot of help, and the people around me are supportive. He's talking all the good things, but because of this headache, I feel this is the only thing that is putting me down. This is the only thing that is a problem in my life. That's about it. Okay, yes, you can ask about the symptoms. Maybe it could be, yeah, a lot of bursting headache and stuff like that, and typical headache symptoms of worse from light, and the usual some stuff, but nothing extremely. From the say of the patient, what rubrics can you construct, and what is the remedy that you can come to? Because the reason I'm putting this out is this is a very common say of the patient. You must have encountered in the in our clinics. All else is extremely well in my life, and they will enumerate what all is good in their life, but for this problem.
Illusion, healthy,
Delusion.
healthy they are. Illusion of health.
No, he's not talking about healthy. He's talking about all areas of his life where he's good, meaning my relationships are good, my wife is good, everything is all right in my life, and all of this. He's talking about all the good things that he is blessed with, so as to say, but for this headache.
Tally by pointing only single points, something like that. No.
No, I wouldn't know that. So, okay,
Okay.
let me tell you this. So, this is one is delusion wealth. Delusion wealth means he's talking about the things that are good, that he's blessed with. What is wealth? Wealth is something that, what you are endowed with, you possess, like your possessions which are good. That is, your family is great. So, that is your wealth. You have adequate resources, you have adequate means. So, he's all displaying he is his wealth in one corner, and in one corner, but for this, in this particular area, he feels poor. Poor in the sense lacking. But for this, everything is all right. So if you put these two rubrics together, delusion wealth, delusion poor, put them together, there's only one remedy that covers both of them together is belladonna, right? And then we can confirm it also from the physicals, or the typical bursting headache and stuff like that, aggravation from noise and congestive headache and stuff like that. So belladonna helped. The reason I'm bringing this, just because this is a very common say where we get, typically many patients talk about, say things like this. Okay, then another case, a patient came to me with lot of running nose. So it is lot of courage. I said, it's like, it's flowing. My nose is flowing. Every place is flowing. So my eyes are also flowing. There's so much water from my eyes. There's so much water from my nose. It is, flowing and all of that. And then I'm not able to get sleep at all. I said, why are you not? So here, when the patient says, I am not able to get sleep after describing his symptoms, it is also important that you ask, why are you not getting sleep? Do not presume, maybe because of the coryza or, the running nose, he's not able to get sleep. Just ask, why is he not getting sleep? So ask, why are you not getting sleep? Then he said, because I have to get up in the middle of the night frequent times. I have to go to pass urine. I don't know why my urine has also increased suddenly, that I need to, it's like flowing water is draining from all parts of me. What is the remedy you can give him? It wouldn't have occurred to me if he wouldn't have mentioned that his urine has also increased. Okay, I'll reveal. So you can give him squilla. Squilla is a remedy in which all the discharges are increased. There's sudden flowing of discharges from the eyes, from the nose, from urine. All discharges profuse all together is squilla, right? So because why is, now you can see the diverse, what I'm trying to show here is the diverse way of approaching cases. One is a nosode, one is a mind method, one is the signature of squilla, right? So my point of demonstrating these cases is just to drive home the point is you can't be stuck to one particular method or one way of thinking. Keep your eyes, ears, everything open, because the patient is going to trust that. Reveal the remedy in whatever he's saying, but just have the ears to just stick to what he says and not choose to see what you know, right?
Want to hear some bowel nosode short cases also, as you mentioned.
Yes, yes, I know. So what I can do is that I don't have them ready with me at the moment, but then and it doesn't, it just it's not just coming to me. But yes, definitely, maybe one of the sessions which I will do is talk about, show a lot of different varied cases. It could be right from the plethora of basing prescriptions on mind method, which I'm quite good at, and to the sensation method, to the plant animal kingdom, and also batch flower and the bowel nosodes. We will take a session which will broadly cover everything. Maybe we could do it one this time again, because the purpose of this session was to show the plethora, and hence I kind of took out these cases, right? So one patient came to me who was a patient of depression, right? So like she had like a husband cheated on her. That was long time ago, and after that she had a story and all of this thing. But for a long time, even I gave her remedies like ignatia, not getting like the husband cheating, and it's been a long time she's not been able to forget, and brooding over it, and natramure and stuff like that, lot of remedies, but somehow it did not budge, did not move at all. Sometimes it happens. We all know that best selected remedies do not move or do not work at all. So what I simply did for us, when I was out of my wits, not knowing how to this thing, she says, I will finally, when she gave an ultimatum that finally she thought it's not working, then she will have to go to the doctor, psychiatrist, to give her some mood enhancers, something on the lines of serotonin. That is when my tube light, like it like kind of it clicked to me. So when she is going to the psychiatrist to get a dose of serotonin, why don't I give her that? So I gave her a couple of doses of serotonin. And trust me, that was the most remarkable kind of follow up in the next 15 days that I had seen. I do not know too much of serotonin. That is on retrospective studies or whatever. I know something about it now, but I don't know too much. It was when I was out of my wits, not knowing how to help, and she gave me the prescription, and I gave her the prescription back. That is how it worked. Maybe when now she's a little better, because we also know which stage, when sometimes the medicine needs to be given. Maybe she needs that natramune, maybe she needs that ignatia, but now was not the time. So because firstly we need to get her to that place of what she's feeling. Maybe she's able to live that moment where her husband deceived her or whatever happened, because now the state she was in, that thing did not make an impact of how her husband deceived her. She was down in complete depression. She says, I don't even think about that, but right now the problem is my mood is not good. That was her chief complaint. So what I'm saying is, in our quest for latching on to the ailments, from latching on to this thing, we also have to keep our eyes wide open to the present predominating persistent symptoms, which we tend to lose sight of in our quest to search for the ailments from, or how did the state start, or whatever. That is not bothering her at this very moment, but her depression is. So we need to take her out from there first, then maybe treat the ailments from, or whatever that state leads us to. So our eyes and ears have to be very alert to what is right in front of us. And sometimes, like I say, my patients always give me prescriptions in hand, right? Similar case, a patient of CKD I had been treating with his constitutional medicine of calcarea floor. It's a nice case. I might take it one of these days, but lot of progress. Everything, his kidney parameters, everything was perfect. He felt better physically, mentally, emotionally, at all levels. He was perfect, but his creatinine would not budge. He says that I am perfect. Doctor, I don't know why this creatinine figure is just not moving. Otherwise, all my renal parameters have been all right. Yeah, the BU and other things are okay. I feel well, but why is this thing not budging? Please do something for this creatinine only. And that is what I did. I gave him creatinine 30, only one dose. And within a month later, he got the report done again. And it was fascinating to see how, after so many months, 6 months of treatment, the creatinine had not budged. But in that 1 month, it came down absolutely in range. It was absolutely a miracle to see. Without anything else, I didn't give him anything else, only creatinine 30 single dose. So sometimes cures just happen. That is why I said, just keep your eyes, ears open, and just take what the patient is offering you, and just try, experiment. See, all these remedies, uh, it just came, and it was just from a position of trying. When I have tried my best, I have given it, why not try this? I did not know too much of creatinine. I did not know too much of serotonin at the point when I was giving it. But I said, why not? This is only to drive home the point that there is no harm in trying. There is no harm in experimenting. There is no harm in giving. Anyways, we give so many remedies which we don't work at times. Why not experiment? Why not try? Sometimes it just works, and then it brings about a lot of learning for you. Now I will be compelled to study what is creatinine. I will be compelled to study serotonin more, right? And I can make a, use them more in my practice, right? So that is all I had to share with you today. So if there are any questions, anything that you wish to ask, I am all open, or share. Oh, yes. Before I forget, one little thing, one other case which just comes to me. And there was this lady, because it's a different remedy and comes very commonly. So there was this lady, she says, okay, I have got this headache. And I had, because I had lot of guests at home, and then I had to get up at odd hours, just to make food and all of that. And my day was spent in with them. I had to go shopping with them, and then come home and cook. There was a lot of exertion happening, and I had to go shopping with them also. And because of that, now I have gotten this headache. Now, even if the guests have gone, now this headache is not going away. So what is it that you can give her? There is a very specific remedy for this. So, okay, the remedy is epiphagus. Epiphagus. Epiphagus is for headaches which come from unusual exertion. It is very clearly written: unusual exertion or shopper's headache. Shoppers meaning if you are out shopping, or which is unusual exertion happening, then you tend to get these headaches often. So that is what I gave her, which brought about some relief. So, yes, with this, I conclude my session. And like I said, if there is anything to share, I'm open to receiving.
Hi, ma'am. Good
Dr.
afternoon.
Archie, which
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Rashi. So I'm Padmaja again. So I would like to share one case on a similar note. So I had a case of infertility. So where the couple is staying in Australia and they have come here and they have been locked in the lockdown. So so the husband says that we need to conceive only in 2 months and we need to go there and we need to deliver the baby there the 2 months time. So how would we see that? So I started asking the case taking. So the lady, I did not get not even one symptom. If whatever I ask, she says that nothing, nothing. I'm good, or something, something like that. And husband also can't. I can't able to elicit any symptoms. So in her reports in SBS, SGSG, the sex hormone gonadal rev, that was one is little bit elevated and all other normal. So I thought that that is due to the adrenal cortex. That hormone is elevated from the adrenal cortex. So I just has given her adrenaline 6x for 3 times a day for 1 week or 2 weeks, and I asked
Mm,
them to come again. And
mm,
after adrenaline 6x, he said that I am good somewhere. I'm literally good, but I want the next medicine. So now I started asking her again and I could not get any symptom. And while leaving the classroom, in my clinic room, I said that I will work out and I will let you know. While leaving the room, husband said that no, no, I need to be with her always. She is very afraid of darkness or something like that. 1 to 2 symptoms he told. So I thought that why not stramonium?
yes,
Because so and I up till that time this is the case of before COVID. At the till that time I don't know the stramonium is very good in fertility cases also. So I have just prescribed her stramonium 200 and I have done all the blood work here at Hyderabad again. All her hormones normal and everything was normal. And I have prescribed placebo for another 1 month or something. The next month cycle was normal. And the third month she absconded. I thought that generally these people, they will be wandering. So I thought that, okay, this case has gone from my hand. And I will never go to the patients and ask them what happened or something like that.
yeah,
For the first time, I thought that no, let me first take a step. So I have texted them in their WhatsApp. So she said that, Madam, I was in my village. I will contact you later. Then that was the word that she's not interested. That
yeah,
conveys. So and again, within 2 days, she said that, Madam, I have not come to you because I was checking. My period was delayed, so I was
mm,
checking. So after two
yeah.
weeks, her UPT has been positive. UPT
Wonderful.
has been
Mm,
positive, and that is why she's been waiting. So let us know like that. So only
yeah,
2 to 3 doses of stramonium. Then before that, I have given adrenaline cortex 6x. With that adrenaline, her hormones have been completely normal. And after
yes,
stramonium, she is able to conceive. And
wonderful.
within their speculated time, they are even moved to Australia also. Australia, and
Wonderful.
they have delivered there that baby. Like that. So that
Wonderful.
was one thing with only 1 to 2 symptoms. I got a case like that.
Yes,
And
yes.
I too have so many cases like this with weird thoughts, and it happens to us. It strikes
Yes,
in our brain, and we will grieve like that. Huh?
right,
So
right.
this was a very nice discussion, Doctor. I really enjoyed. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you found it of some use. Yes,
And you
that's.
are so lively in presenting the presentation that I
Oh,
was observed. You
yeah,
are
thank you so
speaking
much.
about lively things, and you are also lively. Maybe you have done all those things upon yourself.
No,
Huh?
maybe it comes from that place. You are so excited, so that it comes organically. Maybe I believe.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm listening very keenly for the first time, not doing multiple things at a time.
yeah.
That's
Good,
that's
good.
the
I'm
reason.
glad. I'm glad. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And one quick experience I wanted to share, Dr. Arshi.
Yes.
That is about the bowel nosode.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes. Yes. Done.
am I
Yes, of course you are, Sarika.
am I audible?
Yes, of course you are.
Hold on.
Sarika, you can unmute yourself. You're not audible.
Okay, okay.
Now,
Yeah.
now you're audible.
Now
Yes.
it is okay?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So just a quick case about one bowel nosode. Actually, I took a case of a person, techie he was, and he was very irritable if you ask so much. But the personality was more of the argentum type or argentum nitricum type, and he had very severe allergic rhinitis, very severe.
Hmm.
So that time I just asked him about the past history, whether he has any gastrointestinal infections, diarrhea, etc., and that was positive and gave her the bowel nosode single dose dysentery co. And with the single dose, it was immediate, means dramatic effect on him. That even
Hmm.
by taking Allegra or other anti-allergics also, it
Hmm.
was very difficult for him. And only 3 doses, within 3 doses of dysentery co, he got
Hmm.
completely cured. I mean, so.
Wonderful. Yes. Good, good. Thanks for sharing your experience, Sarika.
Huh.
So, anyone else, any thoughts, anything you would like to share, your own experiences, or how? In fact, I would be happy to know how, what in your practice, what are the changes that have helped you? Maybe I could take a cue from your diary. Yeah. So, Arshida, I believe we are done here. I think, and we could just conclude the session. And thank you
Yes.
all for joining. I had a wonderful time speaking to you all, and looking forward. I think I'll get a few more cases. That will be more, it'll be nice to. In fact, we could have a session where you share yours, and I could share a few of mine, and we could interact. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Arshida. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was, as Dr. Padmaja ma'am said, it was a very lively and an interactive session.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing all your secrets from
Secrets,
the
yes.
meditation process till the secret
Yes.
diaries, and you have really seeded the concept of how we can approach the patient when we
Yes.
don't have one. And you have
Yes.
helped us break the glass ceiling of homeopathy by applying those concepts in plants and animals as well.
Yes.
It was a really interesting session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much from everyone. Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
So,
you.
yes.
Bye bye.
So, yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, before, with your permission, before concluding the session, can I just bring notice of the musing's upcoming and
Yes.
ongoing session courses to the participants? So, So we have our upcoming one-day webinar by Dr. Saptoshi Banerjee sir on the 23rd of April. It is a one-day webinar, starts from 7 p.m. IST. So I will be dealing with the commonly used organopathic remedies in practice and how we can prescribe it clinically with its right potency, dosage, and repetition guidelines. And the registrations is open, and the early bird offer ends tomorrow. If it sounds interesting, please make use of the opportunities soon. Next, we have a 3 day series by Dr. Gajanan Danapkar sir. It starts from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. IST. So, we'll be dealing with the common miasmatic, and if you have any confusions regarding your miasmatic or constitutional prescription, we hope this will be of great help. And the course highlights the use of miasmatic and pathological synonyms, and there will be a case based discussion as well, and there will be a lot of clinical insights. Please register if you're interested. So we have our very own flagship course, that is Music Minerals. It is an 1 year in-depth journey of the mineral kingdom. Here you will be able to understand the mineral kingdom in depth, and you will be able to finely differentiate the columns and stages of of the periodic table using both the classical and contemporary homeopathy. The course has already started from January 2026. Still, you can get hold of Mineral Kingdom by registering to this course, where you will be able to gain access to the previous recordings of the classes, and you'll be able to attend the live classes as well. And the main highlight of the course would be there will be 3 interactive live question and answer session with our chief mentor, Dr. Mahesh Gandhi sir. And next, we have our Three Kingdom Learning Odyssey, in which all the three kingdoms, including plants, minerals, and animals, will be dealt in depth. The plants and animal kingdom has already been dealt in the previous years, and the mineral is an ongoing course. If you are enrolled in this course, you will be able to gain access to the 120 plus advanced sessions of the plants and animals, and you will gain access to the live mineral kingdom as well. So if you register, you will be able to learn the structured learning path, and the recordings will be available for 3 years. So to make your fundamentals of the kingdoms PM and superclass strong, you can make use of our basic kingdom PM and superclass module. It is a pre-recorded session. So once you enroll, you will gain direct access to the recordings. So that's it. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for all the interactions and the insights for the practical
Awesome.
use of homeopathy. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for such a lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you, Arshida. See you again. Bye.
See you. See you. Thank you.
Bye.
And thank you so much, participants, for joining us live. Thank you so much. And we are expecting you to see in the further sessions as well. Thank you. Have a good day. Good night.